Today, we're going to talk about what you get with the Joysway Fishing Surfer. And for me and for you, after we're done with this unboxing, you will see that this will be a game changer for your surf fishing game as well. Let's get started. First, where you can purchase the Fishing Surfer is going to be from rcfishingworld.com. rcfishingworld.com. Chuck is the owner. He will take care of getting this boat into your hands. There are limited number of fishing vessels available. However, in time for Christmas, he has placed an enormous order because he believes, as I believe, that this is going to be a hot fishing item for everyone who wants to up their game and catch new species of fish where they may not have thought was possible is now possible with the Fishing Surfer. Joysway is the inventor and the creator of the Fishing Surfer. They've been pushing out RC sailing boats for some time, but now they offer the Fishing Surfer. And Joysway is committed to top quality components, which includes top quality on the motor, the speed control, and the GPS control. Because if you're spending the money in purchasing this boat, you want to make sure that GPS sends that boat back to you each and every time. And that's what they've done with the Fishing Surfer. Joysway has been instrumental in inventing the self-righting V-boat, which is exactly what this is based upon. So what I mean by self-righting, when you are taking this into the surf, let's say 2 to 3 foot waves, if this boat were to flip over, it would immediately pivot back and get right side up so it can regain the control, take the bait to the GPS plot, and return back to you safely. There are 2 models of the Joysway Fishing Surfer available to the angler. The first one is a boat retail cost of $595. That boat does not come with the fish finder installed. It does come with the GPS and all the other components that I'm going to show you in the box. The top end of the Fishing Surfer is $895, and that includes the fish finder. That wireless fish finder will give you a real-time view of the lay of the land, of the ocean floor, and the fish that are out there on its journey taking the bait to where you want it to go. I myself have purchased the $895 model, and let me tell you, this is very important. I am not sponsored by RC Fishing World or Joysway RC boats. I am an independent angler who used this boat with my friend Smitty at Smitty Surf Fishing, and I saw what it was able to do, and I knew at that moment, with catching those 4 red snappers, that the bar is set for us at an incredible level to where now we can target species along the Gulf Coast that we weren't able to get before. This is a game changer boat because there is just so far I can cast my 13-foot surf fishing rods. I can cast probably between 120 and 130 on a good day with a good breeze at my back. But there are species in the surf beyond where I can cast. And sure, I can take a kayak or a paddleboard, which I do own both. I still own the paddleboard, but I do not own the kayak anymore. In fact, I sold the kayak because I did not use it at all this year. And I took the money and invested it in the Fishing Surfer because I am a believer that this is going to get me in a lightweight way when I carry this in my cart along with my other gear to get those baits where, like I said, we can go where we have never gone before. We can now target king mackerel. We can target cobia. We can target tarpon. We can target more offshore jack crevalle with live baits. This can take us out to those species of fish where we can bring home more than what we're used to catching at the surf. Listen, I love catching pompano. It gets hard to catch pompano during the summertime. Those other species are available And now the Fishing Surfer can get me there to those species. Not only that, there are areas around the bays in Pensacola that hold red snapper, that hold grouper, that hold triggerfish, that hold other reef fish that now we can reach from the bank using the Fishing Surfer. And listen, I know that I sound like a commercial, but I'm not a commercial here. I am an avid angler that wants to challenge myself to catch the species of fish I've never caught before. And I can now do that with the Fishing Surfer. So that's my pitch to you. If you are interested, this is a big purchase, but it is a timeless purchase. The opportunity to use this boat to target those species of fish in the long run will save me money by choosing to stay on the shores of the beaches and the banks of the bays rather than going offshore in a kayak or in another offshore boat. Those costs can be diverted easily into purchasing the Joysway Fishing Surfer. Let's get into what you get with the top line of the Fishing Surfer. And we'll start off, number one, with the fish finder.
We're starting to drop off now.
Yep.
Coming down 4 foot.
Dang. That fish at it's 5.4 feet.
That's how far from the top he is down to the bottom. That's why I said I want to run the suspended rig. Fish.
That's there, a big old fish.
Foot, yeah.
He's at it's 81 feet?
No, it's 81 30, degrees.
Okay. Oh, okay.
31 foot down. He's 12 foot down. So go ahead and drop there, Jack.
It's amazing to see how the contours of the oceans are there. And that again is in live in real time. I have thoughts of also using this Fishing Surfer and the fish finder to scout the troughs up close in the surf, to see where I can find the pockets of schooling whiting. And who knows, maybe one of those whitings is the next state record in Florida. I believe the Joysway Fishing Surfer can help me navigate and actually see the holes in the first trough or even over the bar in the second trough that may hold fish. So instead of really blind casting in these areas to where I think there may be fish, now I can see before I cast if the fish are out there, if I'm still controlling the cast and not attaching it to the Joysway Fishing Surfer, I can now cast, because this is scouted for me, into those areas. And now that you've seen, the only difference with the 895 and the 595 version is the already installation of the fish finder in the boat at standard in the top line model. Everything else you see going forward is going to be included in both models. We're going to talk about the top of the Fishing Surfer right now, but before that, you can see my logo right there. If you want to win some fish gum, go check out the Fish Gum page on Facebook. I have a post that talks about coming up with a name for the boat. Leave what you think this would be a great name for the boat. You choose a name and my family will choose the winner and you will win some fish gum bait. Again, check out my Fish Gum page on Facebook. The top of the boat you can see as follows. These are the antennas for the actual controller, GPS, steering, what you would find normal on a RC boat or an RC device. There is nighttime features, which will be a blue light and a red light. These lights are extremely bright. And if you're going to try some night fishing, at least you have your boat protected by having these lights on your boat. So oncoming vessels will see something is moving in the water and they'll hopefully not try to run over you. This is the antenna for the actual fish finder. Again, that's in the top of the line model. Those are the features that are on top. We'll go inside the actual unit, pull it right off. You do get a battery pack. You'll get about 7 to 8 journeys out, depending on how far you go out into your drop-off zone per battery charge. I do recommend buying a second battery like I did. You get one battery on the house, you buy a second battery, so you'll have an opportunity to get multiple uses, 14 to 18 different trips out into the ocean. The motor is in there. I'm not going to do a close-up of it. The GPS indicator is right here. We have motoring components. And one thing about the unit itself is not waterproof. It is water resistant, but water does still get in here. It is a normal thing that happens with this boat. It simply dries out. The components are waterproofed in there. However, I would suggest when you are using this boat to flush the system out at the very bottom and run the propellers through a hose, squirt it upon it just to clean everything up and let this air dry after each use. If water gets in it, it does not ruin the component. It's just the way it is designed to have a little bit of water that comes in there through the activity of taking your bait out into the ocean. But it's completely normal. It's nothing to worry about. So that is the top of the boat. Let me lock it back in place. 2 locks and it's done. What I love about the feature is that handle that you have here. It's just so easy to pick up. It probably weighs about 9 pounds. That's my guess. I could read the box, but I didn't. 9 pounds is not bad at all. It's very sturdy. It looks to be about 3 feet long and about 18 inches 16 inches wide, somewhere in that range. It's a very well-built, sturdy boat, lightweight, something that you can easily handle, even a child can pick up. You're looking at the twin turbo engines in the back. This is not a speedboat, but it has enough power to get your bait out there in a quick manner and back and forth and back and forth. You also have 2 pins that hold the bait. One is a pin that opens up and you put live bait or other baits inside the cylinder portion. And when you get to the prescribed area, this will actually pop up and shoot the bait out into the water. The second pin is the one we use a lot of in the video. Is basically, it keeps your line in there, pushes the pin down to hold the line in place. And when you get to the spot where you want to drop the bait off, it pulls off by the push of a button, radio controlled, and drops the bait in the water. There are also areas of cushion. So when this hits the beach, the places that need to be soft on the bottom, there's rubberized material to make sure that there's no damage that occurs to the boat when you are landing it, or maybe you run into some object when you're steering out there like a floating deadhead. You just never know. The max range on this boat is 500 meters. You're never going to go out that far, but you need to stay in and not walk that line of going out as far as it can go. I'm not going to. There's no need to. 400 meters, 300 meters is probably enough for me. There is an autopilot GPS function that when the bait has been dropped off, you push one button and the boat itself will come right back to where your controller is, so you can have an easy return back on the fishing surfer. Let's talk about the other accessories that you get in each box. You get the nice PVA, PVC stand. I recommend taking this with you when you're at the beach to place the boat in when you're not using it. I believe that can also fit in the bag, and you can set all the components in the bag for easy carrying. Here is the actual bag. It is a waterproof bag. The stand will actually fit in there, and you can put the boat in the stand with it all together with the other components as well. Waterproof canvas bag. It goes to the left. The button you push down accelerates it forward. You push forward to go in reverse. Let's look at Here are the buttons on the actual controller. I have not used this yet, so this is just as new to me as it is to you. You can mark locations where you drop off your fishing bait, and you can go back to the same location each time if you're using the same rod. If you're using 4 rod sets, you can have different 4 GPS positionings that you can drop the bait off to. You can make this determination if you have the high-end model where you get the fish finder to mark your location based on what the fish finder shows you. This is how you turn the LED lights on. I do not know what the other components do yet on the actual controller, but you can see that we have the automatic return button that gets it back to you, tells you if the GPS is on, and the bait battery indicator is as below. I do recommend bringing extra AA batteries when you're bringing the actual controller with you. The other components that are in the bag are the battery charger and the single battery. This is a 9.6 volt battery, LiFePO4. I I don't know what that means, but it's a very good battery. One other feature I forgot to mention is that the propellers also have weed guards to protect the propellers from anything getting hit with debris or grass or whatever else is out there. And finally, you get 2 instruction manuals. The actual RC Joysway Fishing Surfer instruction manual is literally 6 pages. That means this is not complicated. It is an easy boat to perform all the steering functions, all the traveling functions, the GPS, the fish finding functions as well. In addition, you do get the fish finding manual as well to make sure that you set up your fish finder the proper way. And to sum up why I am sold on bringing this into my surf fishing arsenal, again, is to target the species that I never thought were possible. A red snapper from the beach. It's $19 a pound. And I caught it from the beach, and there were probably 8 pounds each fish. Had to throw them back, but that is amazing to bring that type of seafood without going so far out to find, but just off the shores of the beach. And many more species to come. That's really number 1. Number 2 is just the fascination of being able to take a fish finding RC boat to scout areas along bays and the surf before I even cast a line. This can tell me what is there. That is an absolute time saver and game changer. Number 3 is the way the boat is built. It is sturdy, it is tough, it is hard. It has the weed guards, it has the self-righting function, it has a powerful motor, twin engines, it has the GPS self-return, it goes over 500 meters max, and you have the fish finder option that again reveals to you exactly what is going in the surf. And number 4, there is a man in the United States to talk to about this product. RC Fishing World, and he is Johnny on the spot to help make sure this thing keeps running and catching you fish. To a game-changing product to enable you to do one thing, and that is excite the strike and catch fish you never dreamed were possible from shore. God bless.